Hello, hello, bestie. It's SuCoco, your divine oracle, and I'm here. I've been channeling this message recently. For the past couple of days, really, this energy of the divine feminine is coming forward. So, this is a message for the members of the collective who are really in tune with their divine feminine. And even if you're not somebody who's really in tune with their divine feminine, we all have masculine and feminine energy. But for those of us who are more in our divine feminine, and I definitely resonate with this, it transcends gender, it transcends like our physical bodies, and it's this energy you really can't put your finger on because the embodiment of the divine feminine is the mystery, the internal world that those of us who are divine feminine exhibit. And even in this act of like trying to explain it, that's a very like masculine energy. Like that's the energy of the masculine coming forward. And so, with all that being said, this is a message that it's for those that really resonate with their divine feminine. So, if you're in the comments and you're like, oh, like, that's not me, then this message might not be for you, but there could be something in here you need to hear. So if you want to stick around and hang out with the girlies, and I do, like, I'm just saying that our feminine energy girlies. But yeah, but for the divine feminine in the collective, the energy that's coming forward is like one of like remembering who you are. And I really feel that for the divine feminine in the collective, you're feeling very like perturbed, but also like at a crossroads where just by virtue and the nature of our world is so masculine. It is so focused on going out there, getting results, doing. And the divine feminine is the world within ourselves. It is the calm. I forget yin and yang. Whatever the one, the divine masculine is fire, and the divine feminine is water. It's that calm, cool, icy. Like the divine masculine burns, and he's like, it's this energy of going out and doing things. And the best analogy I can use for this is the analogy of the flower and the bee. The bee goes out. Its whole purpose is to find the nectar for the colony, and it goes out and searches, and it's out there doing its little bee thing, and it's so driven on this one task. Whereas the flower turns inward. It dwells in its beautiful inner world. It does not like it takes from the outside world in terms of like sunlight and energy, and like from the roots it soaks up water and the sunlight comes in, but the flower stays closed. And when she is ready, then she blooms, and her beauty comes from her internal world that she shares with the external world. If you're somebody who's introverted, even if you're extroverted, if you're in your divine feminine, I know this resonates with you. And it's a hard path to walk if you've never heard it expressed like this, or you've never really had someone take the time to put it into words. And I feel like this message has come through because I know for a fact I'm somebody who I spend a lot of time in my own internal world and put words to emotions to really put context to things that are very like abstract. And so for the divine feminine, the message I want you to take is it's totally normal for you to feel uncomfortable doing things that almost go against your divine nature. And it's like, I take this in like, in the easiest context is like when you're flirting or like going and like trying to meet somebody, or in the dating scene. It's just this energy of like, you know what I mean? Like being at the bar and you see somebody cute. And I know like for a lot of people, the advice out there, no matter if you're divine masculine or feminine, is, oh, if you see somebody cute, go and approach them. And that is so for the divine feminine. That is not us. That is such a masculine act to go and like do that. And I want you to know that it's totally fine for you to, you know what I mean? Like, be the cutie in the corner having your drink and allow your aura, your beauty, your mysteriousness to attract that divine masculine into your life. If everything I've been saying resonates with you, then this is the message for you. If it doesn't, then this is not the message for you. And I really, really want to make that clear because some people can misconstrue it as like, oh, you're like pushing dated stereotypes or dated sort of beliefs and ideas, but these are constructs that have come from like generations of spiritual practice. There have been mystics and visionaries and healers in the spiritual world that have delved into these energies, and these are the energies that really are intrinsically like they are so embedded within us, and we all will resonate with aspects of them, be it divine masculine or divine feminine. But I'm just saying, for those who are so, so strongly connected with their divine feminine, this is the message for you. For you to like not be, I guess, ashamed or like to not feel bad about the way you move in the world, or that you might be more quiet and mysterious. Like, you know what I mean? There's like, when we even talk about extroversion, introversion, the extroverted qualities, those are very masculine. It's almost like the sun and the moon, right? Like, the sun shows up when he's like, the sun shows up every day, and his intensity shines on the earth and, makes plants and everything grow. Versus the moon is so mysterious and her changing and her cycle, and she shows up when she shows up, honey. And there is this beauty and this mystery to her, and you could totally miss her if you don't take the time to pay attention to her appearing. Like, a lot of people don't moon gaze, and I think all of us divine feminine, I mean, I feel we all should, but there's a magic in that. And so, now that I've kind of gotten out of the way, like who I'm really reading this message for, yeah, let me just jump right in, because I feel like the tarot definitely want to add something and definitely want to contribute to this conversation. Now, this is a very, very, like, this is a deck I'm so, so connected to. This is the first ever tarot card deck I got when I was like 16 years old. And the crazy thing about this deck is the male and the female cards are flipped. So it's like the Empress and the Emperor are opposites. And in the suit cards, it goes Prince, Princess, King, and then Queen is the highest in the suit cards. So it was really calling out to me to be like, there's a message coming forward. It needs to be addressed to the divine feminine. This is what needs to be said. And like, it's felt, because I know if you're in your divine feminine energy, it's all about feeling rather than thinking or action. It's intrinsic to us. Yeah. It's about letting go of all these misconceptions, and also letting go of feeling trapped in our lives and trapped in constructs that people have made for us. The best way I can put it, it's like, if you're somebody, like, for me personally, like SuCoco, like that's what I go by in my day-to-day life. That's what like my friends call me. That's what literally everybody calls me. But like my birth name is something, it's weird for me, because it feels like there was a lot of expectation of who I was supposed to be passed down from my parents in that name. And SuCoco is like something I created. I just think it sounds cute and like fun, and it really embodies like my energy and who I am. So I've gone by that for such a long time, and now I'm like, when I meet people, hi, I'm SuCoco. Nice to meet you. But it's that kind of energy. How are you going to free yourself? What can you do to free yourself from it's this like prison that others have made around you? Because as a divine feminine, your inner world is so deep and complex and so far removed from anything that exists out here. And your beauty and your power comes from you sharing that. But it's like a thing of like protecting your energy where I really want to warn you against like oversharing, because for us divine feminine, like our internal world is so precious, and like interacting externally is, I in the light, like over dramatically, it's like a violent act because we're taking something of ourselves and giving it to the world. And if you do that too much, you have nothing left. And that's why I'm very big for the divine feminine, for everybody, to make sure your cup is full before you help others. You got to make sure your oxygen mask is on before you help the children. And with that, allow yourself to embark on this journey of self discovery. Like, you could be well on it or you could just be starting it, but it starts by you acknowledging the prison, or so much the prison, or I mean, it probably feels like you're boxed into your life, or or the expectations of your life. Who are you meant to be? Who do you know what I mean? Who do the people around you think you are and expect you to be? And does that line up with who you are or not? And I'm getting the energy it really doesn't. Give yourself the freedom to think outside the box, to now ask yourself, what do you want? What is it you really want? What is it you truly feel like in your heart? And I feel for a lot of you, your wants and needs, desires have been something you put on the back burners. I'm seeing this image of like somebody who's like really into like art and drawing, and their parents wanted them to be like a doctor. So they took all their like pencil crayons and threw them away. And were like, you're not going to draw, you're going to like study. And it's like, like, and you were like, okay, I need to be good because, I want to make my parents happy. And that energy is just very much like you cut off this part of you that was so like free, childlike, creative in order to do something else. But it's like, I also see this person could have always pursued, there's a spark. Like, when your parents weren't looking, you used ballpoint pens and you were drawing or something of that nature, or like your inner child has kept that dream alive, to be able to return to it when you felt safe and comfortable. And the speaking of the inner child does not come out until they feel they are safe. And the more that you can cultivate a world, it could start like by in your internal world where you like, I'm getting a lot of you kind of like disassociate sometimes or daydream a lot. And in your daydream, you could start by creating a place where your inner child can play. And slowly, 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 it, expands. And it's like when you're by yourself and, you can allow your inner child, with the analogy of like drawing, you can allow your inner child without any judgment or this is a bad drawing. I just want to feel what it's like for the pen to glide on the paper because it makes my inner child happy. And allow that to move you forward, and the universe takes hold and does the rest to bring in whatever it is you need to learn, know, do. Like, the right teachers will find you. And so that is the magic of the divine feminine, is to pour back into yourself these blessings that you are getting from the divine. They're for you, so pour those back into yourself to cultivate this freedom, whatever it is that really, really invigorates and enlivens you, because it's this turning of the wheel. It's like, I just feel like for a lot of you, it just feels like you're stuck and like the wheel of fortune, and just see like dust on it and things are not moving. And I'm hearing like creaking metal and the groan of metal. It's like when it's like almost like activated by like laughter, joy, fun. And when you're like, I just see this big wheel and your inner child is climbing. When it gets to the top, it's like the wheel starts to groan because you're playing and your weight is causing it to shift. But it was your play that caused the wheel of fortune, the wheel of time to move forward. And now things are starting to happen in your life, all because of play. So, my beautiful divine feminine besties, I love you all so much. Take care of yourselves. I really hope this message serves you well. And until next time, bye.